So here we are in the container yard. I'll go through some of my basic tricks and things I do when I play TDM. I am not an S&D player at all. My playstyle is tank, so my KDR is low, but I do like to score. I personally use head as an impact vector. I will explain it later. An auto sprint, I think it's pretty obvious. Some people have problems with smooth artificial turning. I have it on, maxed. I also have virtual stock on. And the kill feed, I think it's useful to have it on your arm, because sometimes it gives you some intel, can be very helpful. I have received comments of my peculiar way of aiming, which is I have the gun tilted right like this. The reason for this is I have practiced to aim down the vector of the barrel. If I hold the gun straight like this, I do not have similar kind of view to the barrel on any gun as I do when I have it like this. This is something personal and people aim however they like to. Recoil of AK is pretty difficult to master. I have definitely not mastered it. There's a lot of stuff to learn. I generally try to dumb mag in their mags. Trust the statistical advantage of a lot of bullets going to the direction I'm aiming for. I have very little hope hitting people from far distance, so I just pray for it, and generally I try to avoid long distance fights. You want to move fast and all the time. If you want to be one of the top score people, you will either be very good with aiming, or you are very good at finding the active locations, or maybe it's just camping. I don't know. People have different kind of styles. My style is to try to find the active zones quickly and move around the map quickly. I have 3 hold positions for my gun. Of course I am aiming. You can find me aiming sometimes. Then I have the in ready position, where I keep my controllers pretty much in this kind of setting. Basically it means that with a very small movement I can start to aim. And the difference between sprinting and walking is small. The more sensitive the situation is, the more subtle I keep the difference. Then I have the loose grip, where I just rest my hands down so I can let them have some oxygen. I do it when there is no imminent threat. Peeking around corners is pretty important. Basically, you can do it like this, and now everyone sees you and they can shoot your face, and you are very slow. You come from behind the corner very slowly, and you are an easy target. But you can sprint and make fast turns. Just a quick glimpse behind the corner. You see what's going on in there. Then you have the opportunity to know the next peak where you are going to aim. You can also see I'm using my head. Basically, with your smooth turn, you will be moving pretty fast when you have maxed it out, but when you have your head as a vector of movement, you can bring even more speed to the movement. And all the time I'm sprinting. Reloading the gun, when you fire and you remove the magazine, you can hear the sound of the bolt. Now you are emptied. Now you insert a new mag. It won't fire. I have difficulties sometimes to focus on things, so I cock my gun pretty much every time. Finding the perfect spot for cocking and reloading your gun is pretty much one of the most important things in fast-paced games. Whenever it's possible, you need to ensure your magazine is full. You have no reason to save your bullets. If you have a tough opponent, you might want to reload even after a few bullets if you are in a safe zone. Sometimes a duel is up from 2 or 3 bullets, you never know. Wiggling is extremely crucial in this game. A regular way of wiggling is to go sidewards. If you do it too slowly, you become almost easier target, because brains see movement. When the movement is slow and it is very logical, then it's even easier to follow it. You need to move fast and irregularly. But why wiggle in one axis when you can wiggle in two axes? If this red barrel is an enemy, this wiggle will absolutely fine distract him a little bit. But what if there is someone else on the side from me? I would have to be wiggling in this front and back direction and also in the sidewise direction. So I just better do to wiggle in circles and just do as random movement as possible. And bring your head in with movement. You can move pretty darn annoyingly. Some people will complain you have speed hack or whatever. At least you're winning. I do the intel gathering pretty much, which means I do quick glances at the key directions and try to keep myself next to a wall. When you are in a fight and you are in front of a wall or other structure, it means there is only 180 degrees of space where people can surprise you. The second you are in the middle, there is 360. Go beside walls. Sanos ne, mitä muuta mulla on? Recently I've been trying to educate myself in non-linear fire. When two people come and face each other's from behind a shared corner, there's a situation where we see which one of them is faster. Often people pre-fire, and then the question of who wins depends greatly on who started misfiring at which millisecond. Different guns fire at different speeds. M4 will fire faster and AK will be slower. It's a game of dices. Basically what you can do is you move your hand to the side. For me it's even easier to do on this side. Now I am reaching over the corner. When you do it surprisingly and out of blue, it looks dumb as hell, but it's efficient. Rotating your guns in situations where you're facing an enemy within very close distances is also very useful. Instead of pointing your entire body to the enemy, you might want to be moving your gun in pretty exquisite ways. There are some few basic tricks, few basic things to learn. Many of the mediocre players already know this kind of stuff, but every now and then I face people who are not aware of sprint peeking or all the general tactics of moving fast. In container yard, there's often someone over there, but it's easy to sprint peek. Thank you for watching, and I think that's pretty much everything I got at the very moment.